I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
Anybody? Anybody. Sorry. What? Marjorie Taylor Greene is building a 14th century sausage maker. What a crazy thing to say about somebody. Let's see. Isn't she kind of bad? Oh, I totally see what you mean. She is built like a 14th century sausage maker. Oh. Yeah, she does. She looks like a jolly old sausage maker. She's so chopped. Her hands. Yeah. She got normal hands. I could see her. I imagine her. She's bringing me like 11 steins of beer in one go to my table of hungry boys. A big long. I could see her doing that for me. That'd be kind of nice. Too much lead consumption. Supervillain energy. Yeah. This isn't the #1 meat writing competition. I'm so excited to see what he has to say here.
The senator from Wisconsin, Ms. Baldwin.
The members of the escort committee will exit the chamber through the lobby doors.
I wonder what the theory is. I don't know. Inflammation, seed oil consumption, a little puffy. Hey man, I'm a little puffy too. I'm not gonna try to, you know, I'm not gonna throw stones at glass ceilings. I'm not gonna break through the glass ceiling with stones. You know, I'm gonna break through the glass ceiling. I'm not gonna go throw stones at it though. I'm gonna break through with my fucking head. Supervillain energy. Yeah, fucking. Definitely. Look at these people, man. Look at all these guys. I'm eager. I'm eager to hear what he has to say.
The Dean of the Diplomatic Corps.
I wanted to say entertaining shit, but then I'm like, wait, this is so real. It's so real, right? I still have this 2016 Trump energy, where I was youthful, and everything seemed inconsequential, and he would say stuff, and it was just kind of funny. Now it's like I still have that like desire to see him say funny things and say ridiculous things, but it's now it's consequential. Now my
we're about 5-10 minutes away from the president.
We have tariffs. We have tariffs, retaliatory tariffs, mineral deal. He might announce a mineral deal tonight with Zelensky. That's one of the most promised things. I'm sure he'll reference the tariffs as well. What if he just says something crazy though? What crazy things could he say? What could he do? You know, he could say anything.
And Speaker Mike Johnson, we're talking last year versus now. I mean, it's so much more jovial with Vice President Vance and Speaker Johnson than it was. It's so much more kind of homeboy. These people know each other and they're kind of on the same side. It's just interesting to watch the differences.
British people are gay to me.
Would you call Harris and Johnson formal?
Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the United States Supreme Court.
That's great.
We're gonna find out we're invading Iran. Yeah, probably. We're just nuking Iran tonight for fun. He's gonna Freudian slip fake Jews into fake news. Let me see what's on. Let me see if there's like some fun polymarket stuff going on. How about that? If I can fucking spell with my 90 IQ. Here we go. Polymarket. What's on polymarket here? What will Trump say during address to Congress?
Jason Dick, we were just watching the Supreme Court come in.
Crypto/Bitcoin. Yes. NATO. Epstein. Yeah, NATO strong. Ukraine 99%. Yeah, no transgender. Zelensky. Term limit. Inflation 10 times. DEI. Peace 10 times. Million 10 times. Beautiful 10 times. Terrible 10 times. Tariff 10 times. Mandate 5 times. Russia. Canada. Is there anything funny in here? Ceasefire. Mineral. Gulf of America.
Thomas has also skipped quite a few lately, and you know, it's not surprising to me because I do think that some people are.
U.S. recession before 2025. 86. Ukraine agrees to Trump mineral deal before April. 86% chance.
Even for people who have, are relatively.
Trump ends war with Ukraine. Fed decision by March.
Necessarily as a protest by justices Brown, Jackson, and Sotomayor.
New pope.
You can see Justice Roberts and Kagan.
Yeah, I mean,
who will be named in the Epstein files by June 30? Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, Stephen Hawking.
Very close. They spend a lot of time around one another. Whether or not it's a protest or whether it's just, I think I want to just.
No, sorry. I know it's not the State of the Union. It's just addressing Congress.
I had a reservation I couldn't miss at the local eatery.
It is Mardi Gras. Maybe they're at Dauphine in downtown.
Take that out of there.
Jasmine Wright, when we were talking.
Is JD tall? I think JD's kind of tall.
Mike Johnson, and I asked the question before we got interrupted. which was.
Oh yeah, JD's like
would you
6'3".
Consider the Harris-Johnson relationship formal?
They're all tall. It's a tallocracy. Trump's like 6'4". JD's like 6'2", 6'3". Barron's like 6'7". Musk is like 6'3". A lot of big boys. A lot of big boys in this administration. Trump's probably 6'2". He's probably shrunk a lot, but he's 6'2". He was 6'2" at some point in his life.
We didn't talk about politics. We talked about things that
Tallocracy? It's always been a tallocracy.
You know, I am not sure that is the case, right, JD Vance, and that they're talking pretty frequently. JD Vance was at the Capitol earlier today for a confirmation hearing for one of the people nominated to join the FBI.
Yeah, the height in politics and business is blackpilling. I tried to bring this up on the podcast. I got shut down. They tried to shut me down for the truth. But it is blackpilling.
William McFarland, the House Sergeant at Arms, is scheduled to announce, Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States, etc. What are you listening for in tonight's speech, Jason Dick?
Mainly about the border. I mean, I think that there is going to be a lot of discussion about immigration and the border. Trump has always felt that this is the winning issue for him. I think that it's going to.
Is he going to talk about how he's deported less immigrants than Biden did in the same time span?
This tariffs move that happened
by like 50% less.
Into
He's going to talk about that.
Obviously, there's some thinking that maybe they would, pull back.
I just announced that he's just going to announce that he's king.
But people are concerned about the economy. They're giving Trump some more time, but people are concerned. And so I want to hear how he not just blames the Biden administration, but how he talks about it moving forward.
Well, later tonight, Howard Lutnick, the new Commerce Secretary, made a statement.
Yeah, he said that.
What should we be listening for?
Well, he said that they had been on the phone with both their Mexican.
I've got a bad
and
feeling
Canadian
about this. Hey, man, me too. Don't worry. We're in this together. Two brothers and feeling bad.
Here, maybe tomorrow, that they are pulling back some of the tariffs, not completely letting them go, but certainly pulling them back as long as these countries say, and then
I have to tighten my
issues like
keys. I got one of these newfangled keychains.
That the reason why
the keys
these tariffs
locking
are
it
put
like
in
that. I
place.
gotta tighten it with my
it's
fucking
just,
toonie.
The reality is that Trump saw the stock markets. He is somebody who follows the stock markets. He follows them
currency.
Quite religiously, and they were going back and forth, really kind of freaking out negatively about
Nice and tight.
About these tariffs. And so I don't think that the White House will be able to say quite credibly
nice and tight.
that wasn't the reason, or that wasn't a reason.
I saw someone get his
as to
keys.
Why they're kind of saying we're going to pull these back.
Sorry,
but certainly only time will
tell.
It's
too tight now. I can't move my keys.
How much that is, and whether or not they still do reciprocal tariffs on April 2nd.
There we go. That's nicer.
Lydia Velazquez, a Democrat of New York.
I saw someone get doxxed one time because he like what is this fucking head? What is this gay shit? We the people written on the suit. What is that? Pro or against? What does that mean? 14th Amendment.
Nearly 20% of the Congress.
What does that mean?
And so that's a lot of new members that not quite.
Sorry, I saw someone get doxxed one time. They held their key. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm so scared of it. They held their keys up like this, and then someone took a picture of it, and then found out where he lived and made a copy of his key. He didn't do anything. He was just like, "This is how easy it is to fucking get exposed online." As I can literally break into your house because you took a bad photo. 5'9" to 5'11" is maximum cooked. I'd run for president if I wasn't born in Belarus. Hey man, we got a Belarusian in the studio. We're Slav friendly here. I'm pro-Slav. Who's left in the anti-Slav camp, man? You can't be anti-Slav.
She's sitting with her guests there.
Lincoln Riley family is there.
Right.
Your question, I wasn't surprised to see her. I mean,
she looks demonic. I think she's a demonic presence.
Since Donald Trump took office, there were some questions about how much she would be in Washington, how frequently she'd be around. But I think that there's a real shift in energy, not just from
she looks kind of evil. I don't.
Office, trying to do things much differently this time around.
Yep.
Mr. Speaker, the President's Cabinet.
A dark wizard's homunculus. Yeah, she looks like she's gonna she looks like she's about to disintegrate. Like she looks like she's going to just crumble. Like that trope from time traveling movies where he goes back in time and kills his grandfather, then he starts fading away. I kind of feel like she's gonna do that someday.
We saw there as well, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Pete Hegseth was there.
They're all happy. Oh, there's old RFK.
Who we talked about a little bit earlier.
There he is. Look, they're excited. They're excited to shake RFK's hand. They love these people.
There's Seth.
I've kind of turned on RFK a little bit. I don't know. I feel like
Sorry, Sean Duffy.
all these people just want power so bad, man. I like the RFK. I'm a health guy, man. I like the RFK. I think they should fucking get seed oils and everything. I believe all the health. I've swallowed every health pill you could swallow, man. And I've taken pills to counteract those pills as well. And I don't know. I'm turned on RFK.
Senator from Delaware, Lisa Blunt Rochester.
Brainworm.
From Illinois, Carol Mosley Braun.
I'd like to see
We have Angela
RFK fix the goy slop. I'd be happy about that, man.
Kamala Harris was the second.
Kamala Harris, of course, and then
I'd love to see him fix the goy slop. You're oil pilled?
Interchangeably.
You took the seed oil? You took a pill full of seed oil? That's ridiculous, man. Why would you do that?
Is that the congressman from New Jersey, Jeff?
Virgil from Tennessee.
There we go.
Do you hate victory? That's why you lost, and that's why you'll continue to lose. I do, man. I hate victory. Everyone should lose.
He is
I said this yesterday, man.
Brooke Rollins.
Everyone's a 4 to 10. Everyone's a 4 to 10. Let's prove it otherwise. I hate anybody who wins.
It is sort of odd to have something like this with, I mean, and there's so much, we're paying attention to the fashion because of like some of the protests and so forth.
Only one of the 50 dyes was banned, and that's during Biden's exit.
Quite as glamorous.
Not quite the same.
Not quite the same.
But it is.
I liked RFK because he was an environmental lawyer, but some of the stuff he says and the people he supports, I just can't like him anymore.
Nobody in the world cares what you
Yeah,
think.
he's a bit too sketchy. Especially the denying of vaccines outright.
Joe Biden took at least a half hour to get out of the chamber. It was a moment for him.
Seed oils rock.
That boosted.
It's like Jews rock, seed oils rock. They gotta run the seed oils rock campaign. Canada's gonna run that, man. We got canola. It's one of our biggest exports.
For a half an hour, it's one of the most, in a sense, iconic things I've ever seen in politics.
Yeah.
And do we expect
That guy
President
hates
Trump
JD
to do
Vance.
the
He doesn't
same,
want to
or-
fucking listen to him.
I don't know.
I don't know if
He likes to chat.
I don't know if President Trump will be there as long. I mean, in that span, Joe Biden had like 2 hot mic moments that went viral. I mean, he was there for forever. I don't know if you expect President Trump to be
Tallow
that
rocks.
long, but the reality is
RFK is probably
as I
responsible for
talked
the
to
current measles outbreak in
close to him,
Texas.
He is enjoying this.
I believe it.
He's happy to be back in the White House. He's happy to have a party that responds to him, that respects him.
RFK has
He's
corpse
happy
on metal
to be
cover
back
vibes.
to being
Man,
the
you guys are so
center
great at
of
analogies.
and so
I'm
I
always
think
I'm
we're
into your
gonna
fucking
see
analogies.
him,
They're always so
show
poignant.
that happiness, shaking hands with his friends, shaking hands potentially with people who don't like him very much, Democrats, kind of pushing them to say something potentially. He's kind of reveling in this moment that he has now that he's back in the White House. And so I think he is going to be there a long time. Whether or not he's there as long as Joe Biden, I think only time will tell, because Joe Biden, I mean, I remember being there, covering it last year, and being like, dang, can you leave? I'm trying to go home.
I did have a high school reunion.
I gotta pull up a note doc.
Wrap it up, Joe. We'll see what Donald Trump does.
Yeah, I would guess too that like some of that is there's a little bit of wistfulness, like that Biden was running for re-election, but who knows what kind of doubts he may have.
Pull up a
had
note doc here.
about his own.
Make some notes. Because I
his
feel
own-
like
his own path.
when these things happen, I get so locked in.
And that this is like a beginning as opposed
Yes.
to sort of an.
When these things happening, I get so locked in. I can't comment. I also don't like pausing things because it's live. I'd rather watch it live. I'm gonna get a note doc, get some things I want to cover afterwards.
And they're not going to bring him in while there's still people
Right, yeah.
in the aisles, but he is nearby. He's in the holding room next to the chamber and should be.
No, I know
coming
it's
in
quiet. We're keeping it
to
quiet until he comes
remind
on.
our viewers.
Just to
Obviously, we're going to shut up as soon as the president gets in there. We're going to listen to everything that happens.
Pull it
watch
out.
The president leave the room. All without.
he was on it.
difficulty.
I think he's on. He's on at 9:10.
Yeah, that's right. Former senator from.
RFK's ex-wife hung herself after
I haven't seen
she
RFK
found his journal where he admitted to cheating on her 30 women.
I don't know if that's
What?
I saw him
saying
talk to Jeff
anything.
Van
I-
Drew. I
Okay.
wonder if it was a conversation about
What?
who knows.
I've not heard this.
Is he really? Did not
That's
know that. Did
fantastic.
not know that. So,
Yeah, I mean, RFK is having quite the moment right now, too, with this measles outbreak, kind of going back and forth between whether or not he should be promoting vaccines, whether or
Sorry,
not
I got the Wikipedia article on the other monitor here. On May 16th,
much
There you
weight
go. Yep.
against
On May 16, 2012, Richardson was found dead at her home in Bedford, New York. Her death was ruled suicide by hanging.
Donald Trump brings up.
Before her death, Richardson had discovered Kennedy's personal journal from 2001, which had recorded sexual encounters with 37 different women. According to Kennedy, Richardson passed the journal along to her sisters with instructions that if anything happened to her, it should be published in the press.
Democrat from Michigan. We'll be speaking from Michigan, and we will.
RFK Jr. won the court and buried her beside his aunt and her husband.
We're going to get your reaction.
That's insane.
Reaction from members and
What?
the play out from the speech.
I did not. How is that like not common knowledge? His wife killed herself because he cheated on her?
Quick excerpt from the president's speech tonight on tariffs. You guys were talking about that.
That's
in the
baffling.
on the economy. This is from Jake Sherman.
He def
Whatever
killed her.
they tariff
Jesus Christ.
us, we tariff them. Whatever
Family
they tariff
values.
us,
You know,
we
so
tax
a
them.
weird thing I respect
And
about
we
RFK, because the
do
Kennedys
not
had a bunch of
tariffs
weird
outside
secrets.
of the EU.
RFK had a
Monetary barriers to
had a
trade,
mentally
how
disabled
far
sister
you can expect
that when she was
to
born,
from
the family shoved her in a home,
That is ahead
and
of
Kennedy didn't know
the
she existed.
market closing tonight.
And then when he found out she existed, he was so appalled that they had done this to her, and he actually passed a lot of stuff for like social care for people with mental disabilities and like mental disorders and Down syndrome and stuff while he was president in the 60s. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but it's just like, I don't know. Imagine figuring. Yeah, she was lobotomized. No, she had another issue. Like she was lobotomized because she had an issue. I don't know what it was. She had some sort of mental. It wasn't mental health. It was like a mental disability. JFK. Not. I don't think I said RFK. JFK. Yeah, she was sterilized because she was disabled. But yeah, I don't know. Imagine finding out like in your 30s that you have a secret sister who like your family just shoved in a home and like tried to hide from the rest of the family because she disgraced.
In an ad lib, but yeah, I think that tariffs are going to be.
These Kennedys can't get their. She had a lobotomy while she was running for president. He knew the whole time. Am I getting the story wrong?
Republicans will be on the left.
I don't think I'm getting the story wrong.
Democrats will be on the right. So you can always tell
Goon logic.
what the applause
Yeah,
is
RFK's peak goon logic, for sure.
It absolutely does. And I mean, another thing that I'm looking for, in addition to just some of the policy notes that we're looking at, is just what
She had super
how they
ADHD.
invest in things that they feel are a winner for them. Whether it's whether
What
it's
if,
something, if Trump does talk about tariffs?
What if
how great they are?
What if all their heads explode for no reason?
Jasmine,
That'd be kind of crazy.
Market does not like them. The Wall Street Journal
Just pop.
editorial page doesn't like them. This is.
I have yet to see a Trump. Trump always. I've yet to see a Trump speech that's like baffling. He always just does stuff, and then the speeches themselves are very underwhelming. But I haven't seen a Trump speech.
Here we go.
Oh, is he coming on?
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
We're on, baby. There he is, Donnie T, the big man. Clinton was the blackest president. Donald's not the blackest president. Ivanka looks like Ivanka looks like she should be guarding like a castle or something. Trump is our Dominican president. Oh, crazy! She had a sign that said, "This is not normal," and they ripped it out of her hands. Did you see that? That's fucked. Jesus Christ! He's not even talking yet. It's already crazy. The guy in the background looks like a fucking lizard person. Dude, that guy with the fucking triple chin in the background. Gotta keep an eye out for him. He's shifty. Oh my god, that smile, dude. It looks like he's got hooks attached to his ears, keeping his mouth open. This is gay, dude. This is a little gay. There he is, man. The oldest man ever elected to office. Beloved. 5 big booms from you. Hell yeah, Joe. This is insane, dude. The clapping, man. How do you clap for that long? How do you sit and clap for? Oh, look at that guy. Fucking Cillian Murphy in the fucking room. I love the way these people look, man. They all look so distinct. They all look like they're not human. Like, I've never met a guy that looks like that. I bet a lot of guys, and not many of them have, like, shocked me and scared me with how they look. Marjorie Taylor fucking Greene, head glazer. Head glazer, Krispy Kreme donuts. Does he open with a joke? He's clapping for himself now, man. Come on, brother. You can't be doing that. Oh, God, dude. Shut the fuck up. Get after it. He's sick of it, man. He's over it. He's like, fucking losers.
Thank you.
Oh! Please, yes. Rein it in.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States.
Where's Elon? Oh, they're gonna go again. Round 2. Fuck, dude.
Members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
Round 3, glaze. Triple glazed Donnie T. That's Saddam fucking Hussein back there.
6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Oh, there he is. Good, he took out the fucking Game of Thrones shirt, thank God, and the gold chain.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before.
He repeated.
The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it.
What the fuck does that mean, Trump?
The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes. We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Fuck, dude. This is depressing. Oh my God, this is depressing, man. Jesus Christ. This is like Balkan politics.
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican. Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
D1 meat riders. Yeah, no, it's split between the people sitting down are to his right are Democrats. They're the ones booing. Like you see right there.
Small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
This is insane. Holy fuck.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Me, dude.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Holy fuck.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order.
Mostly doing this to break up the tyranny speech and also I guess to see how honest you are. What's the current calorie budget, and how is progress to your VidCon body comp goal?
So I'll get to that after this. Holy fuck, they're kicking him out? They fucking kicked out Al Green.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you. Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record, to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it.
How often does someone get kicked out?
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation.
What?
And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but
what the
we'll
fuck
take it.
kind of statement is that?
Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever. They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people
that's
from
objectively
mental
not true, though.
institutions
That's not true.
insane
That's not like that's
asylums
a completely
were released
unfactual
into
statement.
our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
This is like the most... This is fucked. This is like truly fucked up. This is insane.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
Oh man, Nancy Pelosi's crying. She doesn't even know where she's at.
Every day my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Vance is realizing he's going to hell.
I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization.
Vance is realizing his whole life is
I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council.
Vance is going through it right now.
We
Jesus
ended
Christ.
all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction.
His animal's kicking in.
To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term.
This is gay. It's pretty gay. You got to glaze a guy that much?
In that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job. And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
What is that? What is he referencing? I never know what is he referencing? Like, what is going on in his head that he's referencing that he says things like this?
2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America. I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Should have voted on that on Polymarket.
And likewise, I renamed, for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again. Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed
Homeboy
the
is
private
really having an
sector
everybody
and our
clapped
military.
moment about nuking a century of diplomatic relations in less than one calendar month. And then nothing ever happens.
Will be woke no longer.
He said, woke. I could have made money off that. Thank you for the 333.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I feel bad for the Democrats, man. They look like the fucking...
I've removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
All the stuff he actually did doesn't mean anything. It's so funny. He talks about like what he thinks he did nebulously, and then he talks about what he actually did, and it's like just meaningless semantic changes.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
Trans sports. Cool. We're having a good Joe Rogan moment here. Who's got a dick? Who's a man and a woman? This is politics now.
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
Is that Matt Walsh? Matt Walsh is there.
And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours.
Oh my
It's
God.
demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it
How
any
are
longer.
How are we still here? How are we still here? How are we still here? How are we still talking about trans people in sports? Like it's the most important. I joke about this. Like this is all they care about, and then I'm proven again and again that all they care about is like fucking semantic and posturing issues and virtue signaling. Fuck me.
What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and
the Dow
make
dropped 1,000 points today.
Affordable again.
Right. The Dow dropped 1,000 points today. We're living in the same reality. There's egg rations. Right, egg rations now. There's egg rations in the U.S. in Los Angeles at Trader Joe's. There's egg rations.
Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration.
Thank you for the 10 disc. I appreciate that.
A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now. And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
Dude, them chanting along to the slogans is so sexual. It's so sexy, man.
My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
I like that line. The permitting is gotten. Great use of the English language there from Donald. Beautiful.
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars. And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps.
Oh, Elon, I want to see Elon grunt or something. I want to see him do the X jump.
Elon Musk, who is in the gallery
Do the X jump. Do something stupid. I want to see it so bad, Elon.
The wild thing is he's talking about tapping the strategic reserve, which the US has had in place for over half a century, so we keep oil at subsistence levels 25 years after everyone runs out.
Thank you very much. We
He just
appreciate
lost
it. Everybody
10% of
here,
our
even
power
this side,
supply from
appreciates
Canada
it, I
alone.
believe. They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. You know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people. Headed up
anyone
by
kept track
Elon.
here?
We appreciate it. We
we're
found
talking like
hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
So have we even gotten to $1 billion, right? Like we cut HIV prevention from Mozambique for 10 million. Has there even been $1 billion of savings yet?
And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things.
Reduce the debt by 0.01%.
We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109
This
years
was already...
It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are
That's
rather elderly, but not quite that elderly.
That's
3.47
already been it's already
million
been
people from
Why is he
ages
doing this?
120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages
He knows this isn't true.
130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to
It's a
many of
coding
them.
error. They weren't receiving money.
And we're
That's been
searching
confirmed.
right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid, and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
I don't understand. Like, why not talk about things if you could, right? Like, talk about things that are true. Like, why spend 5 minutes on a disproven data point?
Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229.
How's it still good? That's fucking insane.
One person between the age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going. And it's
There's
not
no
gonna
money.
be
It's
pretty.
not-
By slashing all of the fraud,
It's not
waste,
going
and
anywhere.
theft
There's no
we
money
can
going to
find,
them.
we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families. And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
If a major historical event happens right now, I'm glad that I get to watch it through your stream art chat.
All right, thanks for the 10, Jacob. It'd be fun to see a major historical event. I'd be here for that, whatever it may be.
With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, we will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money. Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's
2 out of 3 saying fractions aren't illegal yet.
The
Sure
nation
would suck if the
founded
major
by
historical event
pioneers
was
and risk
finishing the
takers
trilogy.
now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy and we will restore true democracy to America again.
He hasn't said anything too crazy. He hasn't said anything. Okay, he said crazy shit. I think he's in the Overton window of things he would say.
Any who resist this change will be removed from office immediately because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over. And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there, they're waiting for you to vote, and I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax. Thank you. It's a very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
When's it coming, big gang? We've been talking about that one for a while.
And I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
You want to? Bring it on, man. Let's see. Let's see it happen.
And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful
Subsidized
word,
billionaires
isn't it?
getting an extra $60,000 in tax cuts, or people who've never made more than $30,000 a year will never vote for you again.
It's going to boom.
Sound logic.
Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
Oh, that's nice, man. I hope that doesn't change in 8 days when they close.
And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term. If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was, and so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day cost us a lot of money, but we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in, and whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them.
April 1st is my birthday.
If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China, and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer. Much has been said
circling the drain, brother.
over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada. But we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada.
What the fuck?
And to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars. And the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer.
Subsidized billionaires getting an extra $60,000 in tax cuts, or people who've never made more than $30,000 a year will never vote for you again. Sound logic.
$1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA. And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people. And they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to. Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer.
It's like Lex Friedman. He loves the concept of the farmer.
Into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies, they're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period.
Yep.
We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen. And I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long. Here today is a proud American steelworker, fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama. Jeff Denard has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff.
I love when they bring a guy. They got a guy. They just brought a guy up. I'm sure he's a great guy. I like guys like that. That's a good guy.
Thank you, Jeff.
I like Jeff. I think the claps for Jeff are warranted.
Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh. And look where Biden took us. Very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much, and I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
Yeah, she knows she's going to hell as well, dude. She knows where she's going. I'll bring Jeff back. I want to see more Jeff.
Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by two impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative, and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune.
What's the Take It Down Act? That sounds kind of interesting, actually.
Thank you, John.
That's nice. H-Rock moment.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is a terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill.
Why is he doing that face? Stop
into
that.
Law. Thank you.
Quit that.
And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you.
Did he just say no one gets treated worse than I do
But
to
if
a
we
victim
truly
of
care about
deepfake
protecting
porn?
Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
I want more Jeff.
And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to. Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren.
I feel emotional about that, actually. That's so sad. That just sucks. That's just objectively upsetting and sad.
Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act. It's called the Laken Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley.
I got a road test in the morning, so I think I'm checking out.
That, brother.
Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
Ever? It's like objectively not true.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Oh, it's nice to see Vance happy. I was getting worried. I thought Vance was upset the whole time. They're chanting his name? That's crazy.
Thank you.
That's crazy to,
Joe Biden didn't just open our borders. He flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption.
Buckled.
Like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America. But there still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungari from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter, and earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
Oh, that's nice. He did slip in the Gulf of America, but that's sweet. You know, this is stupid. Now it's gay. Now it's fucking disgusting. But just saying it was sweet. I'm not falling for it. It's objectively sweet. What do you mean? Anybody could say that. It's a sweet thing to do. Well, I have to hate it because it's Trump? It's nice.
Thank you very much. All 3 savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Transgender. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations.
It would be nice if, it would be nice in any other context, but it's still objectively nice.
They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle.
Jesus Christ.
Border Patrol agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy.
This is going on pretty long for something he hasn't done much to fix, I must say.
In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande, near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took, and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much. Thank you, Roberto. And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great, great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing. 5 nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder, President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
5-man.
Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it.
They call him Lightning Pen Donnie. It's like he's like a speed run. It's just like that. Don't even see him sign things.
And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns. In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck, good luck. Pam Bond, good luck. So important. Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you, Cash. They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice.
Hey, man, for the 300 here, why don't you join the Discord, huh?
1 year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were
also
rough
sub to the live
arrests,
channels
too.
where the highlights
He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and 1-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much.
Stephanie, he killed people. Famous killer.
Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest. And we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, so we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
Anybody? Anybody. Sorry, what?
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed. Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
Bring Daniel. Bring Daniel back. Yes, raise up Daniel. He's 15. Lift him up. Lift your 15-year-old son up in the air. Is there something wrong with him? I'm sorry. They got his age wrong, right? No. I feel really bad if he's got something wrong with him. Okay, I think he's got an issue. Sorry. I think he's got an issue.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer.
Oh.
The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Okay, so he's good. Okay, there we go. He's good. DEI A-Club includes DJ?
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer. Actually, a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Yes! It gets better and better and better, man. He fucking got it, dude. Oh my God. He had brain. Is he like developmentally delayed from the brain cancer? I guess. He just looks a little, like, young. Sorry, did he get his age wrong? Is he not 15?
Thank you, DJ. DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Hey, fair enough. I agree. Cherub, I agree. Mr. Brainworm, I'm okay with it.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering. How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong. 1 in 36.
Wow, he brought the autism stats up at the Congress address?
There's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important
With the green
job.
baby.
Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools.
Get back to
a few years ago,
January,
Little John and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly, socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband.
Oh, her name is January Littlejohn, man.
And pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually. All without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you.
January Littlejohn. I fuck with that hard. I fuck with that hard. Start Zins. It increases productivity, Xander.
Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology. I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
Hey man, I'm not like fully against this. I think that's fair. I just don't think that he's the guy to do it.
To pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie. And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you. Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better? Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations.
Wokeness is gone. We did it. Everyone's asleep again.
And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all
You are
armed
perfect the
services
way
are
made
having
you
among
except
the best
foreskin.
recruiting results ever in the history of our services. What a difference. And you know, it was just a few months ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit. Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country, and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing, and thank you very much. Great job. Thank you.
Come on, Trump, say some new stuff, man. Get me excited, get me riled up. You're losing me. You're boring me, Trump.
We're joined tonight by a young
Bernie
man,
Sanders,
Jason Hartley,
jump
who
scare.
knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a six-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. That's the kind of man I want to see. We described that man as the man I was imagining right there. He's got that Chad underbite, or that Chad, what is it called? What's it called when your bottom jaw's bigger? That's what it's all about. That's how you know he's a real fucking
Jason, that's
tested
a very
up.
big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
Oh, there you go. He made it. That's so nice. They did it just for him. Yeah, DJ got in there, dude. I like these characters, man. I want to assemble a team. I wish the Rizzler was here.
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
Fair? What am I going to do? Get angry with that? Iron Dome?
And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places, they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it.
Israel
and the United States should have it too, right, Tim, right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding.
Golden Dome equals head from the Jewish girl.
And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight
here we go.
that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon.
That's not fun.
It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it. Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal.
It was BlackRock. BlackRock
Lots of
announced
other
that,
things
just so you
having
know.
to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals.
It was It was
The Panama
BlackRock.
Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others. But others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now,
Good luck, Marco.
we know who to blame if anything goes wrong.
And they will.
Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes.
He's got big fucking
He
ears.
was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job. Great job. And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security, and I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you
Jesus
safe.
Christ.
We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Why did he bring up ISIS after Greenland won, too? He's like, just talking about individuals. Who gives a fuck?
And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown that when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent.
What does he mean?
People. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. I spoke to them on the phone.
Republicans cackling at the president, saying he's going to forcefully annex a sovereign nation in a national address, and we're still not allowed to
they did
openly
nothing
call
but
them
cry
fascists.
with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords. And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Jesus Christ. It's Elizabeth Warren? Oh my God.
2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine, by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by billions and billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Wow, this is fucking exhausting.
Wouldn't that be beautiful? It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end this senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight.
How does this affect the cost of groceries, Vaughn?
To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father, and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard.
She got bad.
You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs.
God damn.
2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit, but thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their two beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you.
2 perks in, never goon. It's true. Our incredible country doctors. I love the farmer. I love our country doctor. Nobody loves the farmer more than me. I can't goon. I'm disabled. Right hand don't work. Can't goon.
To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his 3 beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that.
Oh, God. Is that not offensive to Christians? I feel it's kind of like that's got to be a fucking, how the fuck?
Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon, Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country, because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the
he was the first president to not put his hand on the Bible when in, probably because he'd burst into flames, saying that is not the most offensive thing he's done to Christians.
American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age. These workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities. These warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country.
Oh, they are thrilling.
This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we're going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
No, not the Mars rhetoric. I hate space people, dude. I'm done with space people. I'm over it. Fuck Mars. You go to space.
And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American
racist against
spirit.
Martians.
And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve.
No, if you're into space against the wall, No robots, no space people. Both out.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless.
Is that the actual Titus Andronicus? Is that the actual, like, Titus Andronicus YouTube channel? Is that it? Is that it? Are we done? Are we done? Oh, wait, is he gonna get, like, is he gonna get, who's the guy who killed Kennedy? Jack, is he gonna get Jack Ruby on the way out?
Thank you. Get this place going. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. I see you soon. No, I'm trying to. Great night. Thank you. Howard. Thank you again. Thank you again. Won't forget.
So good. Yeah, it's good. So good, sir. Terrific, Mr. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm actually sorry. I'm still taken aback. It's like, was that the Titus Andronicus YouTube channel?
Thanks again, Mr. President.
Thanks for the phone call.
Sorry, I'm not locked in about this. I'm about to freak out if Titus Andronicus is watching my stream, dude. That's like my fucking that's like my Led Zeppelin. I'm gonna lose it.
Best speech ever. Yes.
I'm kind of into the live glazing cam here. Is pretty fun.
President Roger Williams, thanks for the call.
I love Roger Williams.
Thank you.
Breaking out the suffering with an instant subsidy. Favorite song, color, playing card and season? Also, I guess the fitness questions you said you'd answer when it was done.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm
Thank you all.
I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna go to that stuff after this. I will respond to that. Thank you for the 20.
That was fantastic, sir.
But I will respond to that. I just want to get my thoughts in about the joint set thing here. I'm really enjoying this glaze sesh, man. Best speech ever is crazy.
How you doing? All right?
Do you want me to get a picture and shaking his hand or anything? You're good.
Thank you.
Let's do biofilm.
Thank you, darling.
Great, sir. Thank you. I love you.
Best speech ever.
It was so good.
Thank you so much.
You rocked it, Mr. President. We're with you. 100%.
You rocked it, you rocked it, Mr. President.
Congratulations.
You rocked it.
Thank you.
Mr. President, that was great.
That was awesome.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, the sausage maker.
Great job. Let's go. Get down there.
Just tuned in, man. You missed the whole thing. Wowza land. Wowza Lord. Sorry, brother.
Everybody. Good job.
Thank you for mentioning God needs to help us.
Thank you, Mr. President.
It's true.
Jesus Christ. Also, real quick, if Titus Andronicus is still here, The Monitor is my favorite piece of music. Since I was like 21, that's my favorite album. I listened to it. I still listen to it like fucking weekly, front to back. It's like
Tremendous, Mr.
one of the most inspiring pieces of music I've ever heard. I was drunk the other night and I ranted to my friend about that album for like an hour. Like I cornered him and explained like everything about it.
You earned this night.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. What time? Thank you, man.
I want to hear a good live mic.
Thank you.
The Monitor by Titus Andronicus. It's like the fucking such a good album.
I did indeed. You better believe it.
President, home run.
Thank you very much.
Great job. Killed it.
Mr. President,
Thank you, everybody.
you did great.
Thank you.
Did great. I want to hear a good live mic.
The children learn with the mind. Also, can someone pull an Australian protester and throw an egg at Mr. Orange Man?
Good.
Thank you, sir. You did amazing.
I think they got this place down. I think they got this place on lock.
Thank you. Love you, Mr. President.
I think they got this place on lock, man. I don't think they're gonna get a.
New congressman from Eastern Washington. We've never met. Michael Baumgartner. I was one of Mike Leach's best friends. He thinks very highly of you.
He was tremendous.
Oh, that's a nice looking guy in the corner there. I'm so locked in on the aesthetics, man. I can't help null the artist in me. I like looking at the faces. That's what I'm all about. I'm a face guy. They call me a face guy.
Talk to you about some buildings, some public buildings.
You let me know.
I will. Thank you, sir. Mr. President.
Hey, I'm not advocating for violence. I never did once. I want a good hot mic. You know, I want to see a good hot mic. I want to see something happen. They reported for stream violence. Fuck, Sid Nacious. My apologies. Hopefully you get banned. That would be so sad if an innocuous comment they made on a 270-person live stream got me banned. I don't know. I think everyone dreams about, you know, everyone watches an event like this and the back of their mind, there's a bit of excitement towards There's a bit of anticipation towards the concept of something bad happening.
The House will be in order.
And Representative Virginia Fox of North Carolina is gaveling the House out of session as the president has left the House chamber en masse.
There we go. Let's keep this minimized. Let's keep this minimized just in case something crazy happens. We can still catch it. But I'm going to turn the volume off here. She can barely swing that gavel. Okay. Fun. Boring. Not that exciting. Did anybody catch anything? I feel like it just got into such a slog of posits and statements that I just wasn't very excited. I stopped, it was really hard to pay attention at the end. There was a point where I had to start, doing this to, get my energy back. Because I was pretty out. Oh, thank you, Xander. Yeah, so, did he misspeak? Did he mean, I know he was talking about death penalty for migrants who kill cops. I know he's mentioned that before. Death penalty for anybody, automatic death penalty for anybody who kills a cop is fucking crazy. I feel I'm gonna give, not the benefit of the doubt, but just given what he said before on that, I'm going to lean towards the belief that he misspoke and he meant to say migrants. He did say anybody, but I feel like he, in context in his own head, he did say murder. Yes, so I'm gonna leave it there. Look, I'm not gonna be sensationalist. I'm not a sensationalist guy. I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna start yelling about things that people did and didn't say. I feel like that would be, hyperbolic of me. It's possible he did mean everybody though. What do we got here? Vance, looking chubby. The clapping was fucked. The clapping was insane. There's something so sad about, JJ raised during the election, during the 2024 election, JJ raised an interesting point where it's like, look, whatever you want to feel about Kamala Harris just kind of being appointed the Democratic nominee, okay, whatever, but at least it showed and you can go down a conspiracy. You can go down a conspiracy hole about the deep state, whatever. I'm not going to speak on that. But at least it showed that, the party wasn't loyal to Biden the way the Republican Party is loyal to Trump. The loyalty that the party has for Trump is terrifying. The glazing, the one-sided glazing is fucking insane. Everything he said, the 4 minutes of clapping up and down in the very beginning was so weird. I don't have context of many State of the Union speeches. I just don't feel like I've seen that level of cheering for your candidate or cheering for the leader of your party is fucking baffling. It was cultish is a good point. I did notice he did say we're not going back, or he said we're never going back again, kind of stealing Kamala Harris's line. Don't know if that was intentional. Don't know if anyone caught that. In the very beginning, he did say we're never going back. The threatening to kick the Democrats out, Al Green getting kicked out was pretty, I guess, reasonable. I don't know. He walked out. It wasn't a violent thing. I don't know. When's the last time someone got kicked out of? Let's see if I can find something on that real quick. Al Green, ASL Green. No, not American Sign Language Green. I want to see when's the last time this happened. Escorted out of the chamber, House chamber, pushed. Yeah. Is there a thing in there when's the last time this happened? Protest Trump's policies on women and families. Al Green, not the singer. I don't know when the last time that's happened is, but that was pretty alarming. The fucking thing about there's so much this is I stopped taking notes because he just said so many things where I was like, that's not true. That's a fucked up thing to say. That's a ridiculous thing to state out loud. When he said his presidency is the most successful presidency ever, ahead of George Washington. He said George Washington's in second place. Specifically, he didn't say second only to George Washington. He said George Washington is in second place behind his. That's crazy to say. That's just a crazy statement to make. The lying about the numbers, lying about Biden's numbers, saying they're the worst ever, saying his numbers are the best ever. Not true. Border apprehensions are down 40%, same time last year from Biden. That's a objective fact. You can go find. You can just Google that right now. Objective fact that it's down. The ending of the electric vehicle mandate. This is why I hate Elon. This is why I hate Elon Musk so much. Look up. I'm on Spotify. Look up Art Chat. I have a bunch of workout playlists if you want to fucking find some playlists. Yeah, Elon Musk being the guy who's his goal with Tesla was to bring a consumer electric vehicle to the market that anybody can afford and have access to, and it wasn't a bougie technology. To have him, so willingly align and be so enthralled with a president who ended the electric vehicle mandate is he just like so spineless, right? Like he doesn't really, I don't know. Like obviously doesn't believe in anything. Elon Musk. It's just all about getting closer and closer and closer to power, making himself richer and richer and richer in the process. Transports, talk about transports for 5 minutes. You know that Tim Dillon bit, the Tim Dillon bit about fucking Lex Friedman and Brett Weinstein, where he's like, all they want to do is talk about who's a fucking dick. All they want to talk about who's trans, you know? And it's like for me, it's such a joke, right? It's such an ongoing bit. It's such an ongoing, recurring joke that I joke about it so frequently. And then to see him talk about trans people in sports, which that really set the tone for the rest of the speech, is just focusing on minuscule nonsense and then bolstering and lying about things that aren't true. You know, there was a few things, like I'm not gonna like write everything he said off as bad because Trump said it. I'm not like ideologically captured to the point where I would write off everything. I think you know, the concept of deep loading the government, cutting regulations, I'm not against that. It should be done so carefully and not, you know, this guy on Twitter I follow is an EAC guy named Soul on Twitter. He made a good point where it's like, this is a first principles approach to cutting regulation where you're cutting first and then realizing what was important afterwards rather than finding out what's important and then cutting. I found that really interesting, like an interesting take, because that's exactly what they're doing. And just really, I don't know, like it's such a joke, right? It's such a fucking joke, and it makes Doge look so fucking stupid. Who's left who loves Doge? It can't be that many people. Like conceptually, yes, it's fascinating, but in actuality, it's so fucked up. What else got here? Transports, egg prices. That's really funny that he mentioned the egg. Like there's literally, I have a good friend in Los Angeles who sent me a picture of, or posted a picture on Twitter of the empty egg shelves at Trader Joe's in Los Angeles and all the signs that say, please stock up on eggs. There needs to be enough for everybody. And the egg shelves are empty with all these signs that say, please take one, like literally rationing eggs. I know it's partly to do with bird flu, but it's just so, like, I don't understand, of all the things you could have brought up that have dropped in price or are getting better, whatever they may be, I don't know off the top of my head. Why would you, like, his propensity to bring things up that are such blatant lies that they make him look, it's almost like it's a got you moment. Like he knows he's making himself look bad in front of the Democrats, right? Because everyone knows that egg prices are skyrocketing. And just for him to say, like, egg prices are down, like, it's, no one believes that. I mean, like, no one in Mega believes that. There's no one who's following that. It's such a silly thing to do, optically, when you could just pick a better fact to stand on and make yourself look better. To the point where it's so stupid, I feel like it is, like, lying for the fun of it, to sort of show to his detractors, to show to people who are against him, to be like, look, I can say anything. And everyone believes it. I can say whatever I want. You're not going to have maintain smooth streaming. Oh, that's an alarming thing to have popped up on my screen here. We back? I think we're good now. Sorry, maybe because the live stream is lagging me down. Oh no, frozen again. Everything's back. Frozen. Good. Bad. Okay. Sorry, I get concerned. I get widgets. My widgets pop up. I get concerned. Egg prices. This one was crazy too. You know, in context of the egg prices, right? Making the lying about something that's obviously not true. The Social Security age scam thing, right? Any one Google search, you can find like hundreds of people who've looked into this, and the money's not going anywhere. It's a coding error because the technology is old. Fine, it's its own issue. But the whole concept of like there's people in their 30s, 140s, 150s, 160s, 170s who are receiving millions of dollars a year in Social Security isn't true. They're not receiving money. Their names are listed, and and that age is tied to their names, but it's because of how the coding works in the system. I just don't understand the point of bringing that up, and to stay on it for so long, and to continually, like, as people are clapping, they sit back down, and then he goes, and ages 140 to 150, and they stand up and they sit back down, and then they ages 150 to 160. You know, just that is like fucking so silly, man, so silly. I don't know why they're still on that. Egg prices are all that matters. My egg price cope. Egg prices are all that matters, man. Egg prices are the objective standard for how everything is doing. April 2nd reciprocal tariffs, we had heard about those. Again, the fentanyl lie about all the I don't know, talking about fentanyl in context to Canada just makes no sense. It's under 1%, and they've gotten it down. They have seized, I believe in the month of February, they seized 17 grams of fentanyl. They said they had intercepted. a record low on the Canadian border. Again, I don't understand why continue pushing the lies. And then immediately after that to say, he said hundreds, right? So the subsidy, the trade subsidy, right? The trade difference, the deficit. It's not a subsidy. Subsidy doesn't make sense. It's a trade deficit. It's 45 million. It's skyrocketed. It's gone up from like 15 to 45 million in the past 3 years because of the American economy's performance did better than it was projected to after COVID. Objective fact, okay? Canada has the 10th smallest trade deficit, second smallest trade deficit with any American trading partner, okay? France is bigger, Italy's is bigger, China's is bigger, Mexico's is bigger. They're all way bigger. So again, to say that, and he said hundreds of billions of dollars. He said hundreds of billions of dollars in trade deficit, right? Or trade subsidy. He used the word subsidy. Hundreds of billions, which just like, that's not a number that was ever on the table. That's not a number anyone's ever said before. I just don't understand why. To say, if you're going to make an argument for tariffs, make the argument that is your intention with the tariffs. Say, we are going to discourage people from buying foreign goods and incentivize them to produce goods domestically and build here. That's a fine, whatever the outcome may be, whatever you agree or disagree on what the outcome and the side effects of the tariffs are going to be, that's still a normal justification to make. But to say that the justification is because of fentanyl and hundreds of billions of dollars in trade subsidies, which are both objective lies, why go that far? Like, why lie in a way that literally nobody believes? Unless you don't check anything or read anything once, no one believes. I like when he says, I love the farmer. That was funny. That's kind of stuff, that's like stuff I would say on like acid. You know, I don't know if anyone has like bits like this. I have this bit with like a lot of my old friends where we'll message each other and we'll talk like robots to each other. Or like we have this bit, like this ongoing bit, we talk to each other the way like NPCs in video games talk. And that's a thing I would totally say. I love the farmer. Like, oh yes, I love the farmer. They're good people. The farmer, they're good people. Very funny way to phrase it. You know, I love the farmer. Lex Friedman loves the concept of hunting. He loves the hunter. I love the farmer. I love Jeff. Jeff was great. I think Jeff was the highlight. That's a good man, you know. 40 kids, 40 foster care kids. Post-truth politics indeed.
Post-truth politics.
Post-truth politics indeed. Shadanks, thank you for the 2. DJ was great. DJ was good. I'm like DJ. You know, look, man, I'm an emotional guy, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I'm cold-hearted. I'm not like, you know, Hassan, Destiny, these other people. They're so stuck. They're so cold. You know, they're so stream-brained. They'll look at DJ and they'll go, fucking loser. DJ? Fuck him. I love DJ. You know? So the heartstring stuff gets to me. I'm a normal dude. When the mother and daughter are there and they named the look, I really can't lie here, guys. When the mother and daughter are there, and then he's saying he's going to name the national park after the daughter that got killed, I was like beginning to well up. Just because that's a nice story. That's a sweet story. That's a sweet story. You know, objectively sweet. I don't give a fuck about it in the context that it was given in, and the fact it was given with an immediate executive order that he purportedly pulled out, held up, and then signed. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting to use something like that for political gain, and to use interest stories is ridiculous. But, you know, that's how they get you. I feel like if you don't have the context, having the important thing there is like, you can look at that and say, yes, it's a nice story. Yes, it's a very emotional story. Objectively, and then in the context of the president just used it in a national speech, I'm easily, there we go.
Easily emotionally manipulated.
I'm easily emotionally manipulated. I'm sorry, I well up when I see babies. I look at, you know, old people dancing and I cry. I can't help it. I love being alive, man. I love humans. But, you know, when you should look at that and say it's disgusting to use it for political gain, right? It's a very egregious story, and then to use it as a photo op moment to bring out an executive order on your speech, on a televised speech to sign is abhorrent. That's a horrible thing to do. You know, it's in the same realm as like as soon as there's a school shooting and people start talking about gun control, or like, you know, Republicans start talking about like gun control laws, and they use it as a political opportunity to talk about like, and they use like the names of people that talk about like gun controls and tug on your heartstrings. It's very, very objectively gross. But I feel like after that, man, the whole story, I feel like after that, the whole speech just devolved into personal interest, right? It just evolved into random anecdotes of like, yeah, this shit sucks. Of course, like, people's fucking kids getting killed by gang members suck. Of course, like, soldiers dying sucks.
Weaponized humanity.
Yeah. No, exactly. It is weaponized humanity. Of course it sucks, right? But like, to just use it immediately as political gain is so sad. It's so depressing. And then, yeah, you know, DJ. I love DJ. I love Jeff. They're good people, man. Death for anyone who kills a cop. I can't get over that. The autism stats at the address. Pulling out the autism stats. The 1 in 36. Is this sorry, the autism stats. I gotta like maybe do a quick double check on that and just see where he's getting that number. 1 in 36 in the United States have autism spectrum disorder according to the CDC. Look, I'm going to take the fence sitting position, okay? I'm not going to deny that something in our food or something in our environment is causing an increase in autism.
This is off topic, but you know any good manga?
Thank you for the 2, Benjamin Applegate, and I gotta be honest with you, bro, I've never read a single manga in my entire life. Like, literally 0, so sorry about that. Look, it's obviously a mix of diagnosing standards have changed. What we consider... Am I gone? Yeah, what did I click? Sorry, am I back? There we go, I'm back. Something is up, right? On both sides. Is it vaccines? I don't fucking believe that. Is it, I don't know, sugar? Look, man, I have no idea. I literally have no idea. I don't know anything about this topic. I'm not gonna pretend I know anything about this topic. I could look stuff up, I guess, and do a deep dive. But like, I'm on a fucking live stream. What do you want to do, like a 20-minute deep dive into like what's causing autism increase? I'm not an expert on this shit. It obviously seems like if there's a rapid rise like this, there's something, especially between like 2016 and 2020. You know, like when obviously the testing standards and the diagnosis boundaries of autism were more solidified, have increased. You know, it's obviously there's something. My money's on sugar and a lack of sunlight, but that's about it. I like when and then bringing up fucking BlackRock as well. The company when he's like a U.S. company just bought tons of land in Panama. It's BlackRock. It's like BlackRock bought all that land. Everyone knows how much we love BlackRock. I really think the mega people are finding some incongruencies with their beliefs when the president is mentioning how much he loves BlackRock for not illegally, you know, the concept of a U.S. company going into foreign countries and then buying assets en masse constantly, and BlackRock being the largest purchaser of single-family homes, you know, rent-seeking behavior, as they would say. You know, that doesn't grok well for anybody, but then for some reason, when it's Panama, when it's like in their interest again, when it's always ideological. Everything's bad until it's my ideology, and then it's good, and then everything's good until it's against my ideology, and then it's bad. This is all these people have, is their shaky belief system.
The autism numbers are only so inflated because screening is now standard, and it wasn't until the late 2010s. Also, all cognitive deviances that would be separate, like Asperger's and sensory disorders, were consolidated to autism spectrum disorder.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm not gonna believe you. I'm not gonna believe you right off the bat. Why is autism? Let's see if I can just confirm that quick. Actually, it doesn't fully explain the trend. Autism rates have tripled in New York City. 1 in 1,500, 1 in 54. Autism spectrum. If I could just back that up real quick with something. I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. That'd be interesting if it's true, but I'm not gonna agree with you right off the bat. I can't back that up right now. Yeah, I don't know. And then threatening Greenland. I don't know. Threatening military action. Again, no new wars, right? No new wars again, unless it's ideological. No new wars unless it's based in MAGA and owns the libs, and then bring him on. New wars every day of the fucking week. And that's what's so fucking silly about it. I don't know. I just can't take the hypocrisy, man. That's the biggest issue. Is I can't take the hypocrisy. I can't take the blatant hypocrisy from what seems to be just everybody in MAGA, just blatant hypocrisy. It's just so frustrating. That's what makes me feel like a crazy person, right? Is I'm like, obviously not the only person seeing this. There's, millions and millions of people who see the hypocrisy. But then when people don't understand the hypocrisy, and I'm like, how do you not get it, you know? How do you not get the hypocrisy? I don't know, man. At least try to be consistent. Like, have beliefs. Try to have, like, axioms, you know? Have things that you operate by. No new wars. You should be, you can be more autism for America.
More autism is fine for America.
That is nice. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, good, better economic units. We're better at locking in, not talking to people, and staying inside and making money for the economy. That's what they want. Maybe. Jeff could adopt us if we get autism. Yeah, you can be... Look, I can accept somebody who is pro-Trump, who is like, you know, maybe they're like, okay, the government's bloated. If someone approaches me and says, like, I voted Trump because of all these things that I believe and all these things that are, like, you know, factually true, like the egregious spending, and then I voted for him because I saw him as the best way out to cut the spending down, right? Fair enough. That's a valid reason, right? If you believe that, totally true. If you can be in that position and then also say, like, I agree with this, but I also think that his stance on, like, Panama and Greenland are ridiculous. His stance in Panama and Greenland are so, you know, antithetical to what I believe. If I believe, like, no new wars, if I believe we should pull out of all these conflicts, we should be isolationist, we shouldn't be messing in foreign affairs. You can have those beliefs. You don't need to, like, agree with everything with you don't need to agree with everything with the guy that you voted for. So it's I don't know. I mean, yeah, government waste is ridiculous, especially in, like, Canada. I'm against government waste. There's 25% of Canadians of working age are employed in some way or another by the federal government. You know, I don't want to be in a socialist state with no competition, where there's no incentive to bring business here, and the incentive is to go get a job at the CRA and make $90K a year for the rest of your life and afford just enough to be sort of cozy. You know, that's a sad existence. The CRA in Canada, the Central Revenue Agency, or the Canadian Revenue Agency, which is the equivalent of the IRA or the IRS in the US, right? Is I believe has, like, almost the same number of employees. I don't know the exact numbers. I used to know off the top of my head the exact numbers of CRA employees in Canada, but it's like we almost have the same as the US for their equivalent agency, right? But we're a country with a tenth of the population. But, like, it's just that's not what's happening. The government isn't getting debloated properly. Doge is cutting things on an ideological basis, and they're not cutting that much money. How much money are they cutting? Everything he listed equated to, like, $500 million. That's a drop in the bucket. That's not a serious amount of money at all.
One of my top 5 moments of the speech was when he bragged about cutting funding for DEI teacher hires, clearly too clueless to know he was referring to paying veterans to fill emergency teacher shortages, and that it counted as DEI because vet status counts.
I know, man. I know. There was a ton of things he mentioned that were ridiculous. I mean, he said $250,000. Like, again, it's all ideological. It's all owning the libs. It's always about owning the libs and owning the Dems and being based in epic and being funny and for the meme. That's what it's always about, you know? To bring up in any serious capacity on a platform such as this, to say, like, they found, what was it, $250,000 for some weird program in Colombia, and they cut $250,000, right? That's not an amount of money to bring up. It's so silly. I don't know. I have no faith. I just have no faith in any of the things that could potentially be good about this administration. I have no faith they're going to get done. I have no faith anything is going to get done. I think it's going to be an absolute mess. Just a messy lost year. A messy lost 4 years of America where they embarrass themselves on the global stage and nothing happens and everything has to be rebuilt afterwards. I don't know, man. I'm like, look, call me fucking lived out. Call me neoliberal. Call me fucking center left. But I like the idea of America being the world's police. They should be. Someone has to do it. It's either America, China, or Russia. And right now, it seems like the position he's putting himself into is backing away into obscurity, into isolationism, and into the end of American hegemony. And there's no one good to fill that role, right? That's it. The way of the Chinese century is here. The Chinese century is here. I'm here for it. Fuck it, dude. Start learning Mandarin. What are you gonna do? Learn Mandarin. 10 trillion to Israel. 10 trillion to Israel. Learn Mandarin. China number 1. We're a one China household here. We're a one China studio. Multiplurality. Many countries can police the world better. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe if the EU Maybe if the EU combines into one, I don't know, if the EU combines their forces, maybe. I don't know. I have no faith. I don't see anything good happening. I don't see anything good happening on any level. I don't see anything good happening on any level. I don't see anything good happening on shit I care about, like, you know, ridiculous levels of mass immigration. I'm against that. I'm against, you know, in Canada, I'm against it. I'm not from Europe, but I'm against it in Europe. These things should be done carefully and with respect to the people who already live there. I don't know. It's so frustrating. I don't see anything, like, personally, like, just to my own personal interest here. Anything I value, I don't see anything happening that is doing anything for what I value at all. I don't see anything heading in the right direction for anything that I actually care about. Benjamin Applegate, what is the white? I don't see a white pill version of all of this. I do not see a white pilled version of this at all. I mean, best case scenario is that, I don't know what the best case scenario is, man. Canada bring, like, for me personally in Canada, right? These tariffs just create a bunch of Canadian manufacturing. We do really good. We get closer with Europe and America. I don't know. All this stuff fucks up and he replaces it. He fucks up so bad. That he has to reverse everything he's done. Well, yeah. At least we got the trans people out of sports. That's it, man. At least we got trans people out of sports. What a huge dub. Huge dub. We got trans people out of sports. That's what it was always about, man. It's always about trans people in sports. That's what always goes back to, you know?
A united Africa will become the next great power if America steps back. Get on the train before it leaves the station.
I mean, I'll take a united Africa. Fuck it. I'll take a united Africa. I'll go. Dude, I've always wanted to go to Africa. You know how much Tuareg music I listen to? I'll go hang with the Tuareg. I'll go hang out with the Tuareg in the desert. Play some fucking sweet Tuareg rock. Some sweet desert rock. Fuck it, man. Why not? I don't see, personally, for people our age, you know, 26, mid-20s, Gen Z, I don't see our lives improving at all.
So, Cake or Jeff Buckley? Or the secret third option of not owning a CD player?
Oh, Jeff Buckley. I think we put them in the computer. I'm a Jeff Buckley guy all the way. I'll always take Jeff Buckley. I don't know. I do not see my. I don't see my opportunities improving. Maybe I don't know. I have a good thing, I guess. I got YouTube. Hopefully, it keeps growing. But you know, as far as just you know, the classic. Here we go. Classic image, guys. This is how I feel. I'm a simpleton, man. I'm a simple, nostalgic, aging Gen Z, and that's it, man. What can you do? Anyway, fuck it. That's enough of that.